Hey guys, in this tutorial, we'll go over how to hide sensitive data when the application moves to the background. So when you minimize the apps, potentially your sensitive information might still be showing on the app switcher. So the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to hide those sensitive information. A lot of apps already do this, like banking apps, apps that contains your general information, brokerages, medical records, so a lot of apps are already doing this. When you go to the background, they're showing like a different screen so you can't see any sensitive information. So we'll be protecting those sensitive information by showing a general screen when the app moves to the background in this tutorial. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so we'll get started by creating a new application. And we're just gonna call this one Conceal Background. Create the project on the desktop. Okay. So we've created the app. First thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna launch the app up front, so we can kind of see that see what the app is showing when the app is launched. So we launch Conceal Background on our iPhone 12 Pro Max simulator. So this is a white screen, nothing showing, and so I've downloaded a cat image off of Google, and so we're gonna add that to our assets because we're gonna kind of set up the launch screen first. So let me find that cat image, and then we'll put this here, a little cat image, and now we're gonna set up our so now we have the cat image here. We're gonna set up the launch screen so that it shows that cat when we launch. So we're going to add an image view object here. We're gonna have this one fill up the whole screen. So let's just do 0, 0, and then we're gonna have it horizontal and vertically in container. Alright, we want to fill up the whole screen, so let me modify this a little bit. So instead of align top to safe area, we'll modify it to super view. Line top to super view. Instead of 44, it'll be 0. So now it takes up the whole area, and we're gonna modify the image to show the cat image that we just dragged in. And in order for it to fill up the whole screen, we'll just do aspect fill. So now let's launch it again, and this should now be showing for our launch screen. So this is the screen that I want to be showing when so here's the launch screen now. Now it shows that cat. So this is the screen that we want to be showing when we go to the background. So for now it's not really showing anything, so let's modify our main storyboard view controller to have a couple of mock sensitive information. So name can be iffy, and then another label. We'll call this one sensitive number, and we'll call it like number 329. Okay. So let's run this again on our simulator and see what shows up. So here's the launch screen, which is that cat. Here's our view controller. We'll go to the background by swiping up here, and the information is still showing. So go to the background, the app is still showing our information, so we actually want to hide that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our SceneDelegate. So prior to iOS 13, everything was done in the app delegate, but after that, iOS 13, Apple has split up the work into app delegate and SceneDelegate, so to kind of support multi-window. So before that, the app delegate had like a lot of these functions, like instead of scene did become active, it's like app did become active, app will resign active. So now they split up this work. So for this tutorial, we're going to be modifying the SceneDelegate in order to show the background, to conceal the sensitive information. All right, so for now, let's create a new file for the helper to create our view controller that we're gonna want to show. So we just have a new file called concealer, and in the concealer file, let's just create a structure. The structure is just call it concealer. So this one is basically gonna return a view controller so that we can use that view controller to be shown. So we're gonna have a static function, static concealer view controller, 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 and it's gonna return a UI view. Probably needs to import UI kit in order to use UI view controller. So there's all right. So we're gonna do let storyboard equals, our storyboard name is launch screen, because that's what we want. So we'll just grab this storyboard name, go back to our concealer. Yes, move it up top. Back to our concealer. We're gonna use UI storyboard, the initializer, the name. The name is, as we've copied, launch screen bundle nil, and we're gonna return storyboard dot instantiate initial view controller. Instantiate initial view controller. Instantiate initial view controller. All right, so this one has this little arrow to indicate the initial view controller, so we can do that. So it would return to us this view controller in this function. So now we can get the concealer view controller, go back to our SceneDelegate, and then we're gonna create an extension, and we're gonna create a couple of functions to as helpers. So right, so we're gonna have extension SceneDelegate, and we're gonna have two functions. One function is just gonna be called show concealer. It's gonna be shown when the app goes to the background, and another function called hide concealer. So it's basically gonna hide the view controller so you can see your data again. So in show concealer, we're gonna just do a guard let. Let's see what we have here to work with. So we have only window. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna need another window. We're just gonna call it concealer window, which is also UI window. And here we're gonna create a window scene. Guardlet window scene equals window dot window scene. So we have a window scene, and then we're also gonna let's see, our concealer returns a view controller. All right, so I guess that's it. So we need to make sure that we can get our window scene. So return, and then we're gonna create our concealer view controller. Let concealer view controller. So we're gonna use the we're gonna use the function that we just created here, concealer view controller. Concealer view controller to give us the concealer view controller. So now we have the window scene and the concealer view controller. We can assign the concealer window we're gonna have an instance of window with the scene for window scene, and then we're going to assign the root view controller, concealer root view controller. It's going to be the concealer view controller that we've created here. And last thing we're going to do is concealer window dot make key invisible. So make key invisible is like a convenience method to kind of show you the current window and position it in front of all the other windows at the same level. So once you call make key invisible, it basically pops that window to the front and shows that window to you. So that's show concealer, and let's just make sure that it works first. So go to scene will resign active function in the SceneDelegate, and then just call show concealer, and then run the application, and hopefully it will show whatever the launch storyboard was showing you. Let's see. Must be unwrapped. Alright, so we can either force unwrap it, or we'll just make it crash. Oh, pretty bad, but alright. If it's not unwrapped, then it's just gonna crash. Can we do that? Require that never inherits from UI view controller. You know, we can do guard let view controller equals that, or else just crash it, and then we're gonna return the view controller. We're gonna print something to be nice in our fatal error message. Fatal error, cannot get concealer view controller. Alright, so now we're returning explicit UI view controller and not the optional UI view controller. Anyways, let's get back onto track. We were in SceneDelegate. Here's that launch. We're showing the information, and let's go to the background. So now when we go to the background, scene will resign active is called, and then you see the cat. You no longer see your sensitive information. But when we go back, we still see that view controller, so we need to hide that. So that's when we're gonna modify our hide concealer. So we're gonna do concealer window, which is the window that's currently being shown. So concealer window, just hidden is true, and then concealer window, we're just gonna make it nil, and then when it goes to the will resign active again, it will just create another window, and then assign that to concealer window. So and so in hide concealer, we're just gonna call it on scene did become active. So scene did become active, we're gonna hide concealer. So this should be all that we need. We're gonna launch. Here's the launch screen. Launches our app, show our info. Let's go up. Now it kind of conceals our info. Come back. Now it shows our info again. Hides info, shows info. So there's so it kind of shows in a way that it's just all of a sudden it just shows again. So if you want, you can also do some animation on here. I mean, it's not necessary because the work is already done, but if you want, you can do UI view animate to animate like showing with like a fade effect or something, so it's not just all of a sudden here and not here. So with duration, let's just do one second, and actually let's call another animate. So instead of just with animations, let's do with completion. So we'll put these things in the completion block. So we'll do it for 1 second, and our animation block, we're just gonna do self.concealer window.alpha equals 0. So when we're hiding, alpha is 0. And completion, so when we're actually after that 1 second and the animation is finished, the completion is called, we're just gonna do self.concealer window dot is hidden equals true, basically whatever was up here, and self.concealer window is just give it nil. So now that we do that, let's do 2 seconds. I don't know if 1 second you'll be able to tell visually. Alright, so we'll do a 2 second fade animation. So now now the background is showing as the concealer background. So when we come back, so it takes about 2 seconds before it fades out. I mean, not necessary. The top is enough. Do 1 second. Maybe it looks better. But anyways, that's just UI stuff. Not really important for this tutorial. So here's that. Then clicks it again. 1 second, it shows your info again. Is there anything else want to go in this tutorial? I think that's basically it for this tutorial. So pretty simple. 2 functions, a concealer function and a hide concealer function. Here, we'll just remove this so that it looks a little nicer. And then we're gonna call the show concealer in the scene will resign active, and we're gonna hide the concealer in scene did become active. These 2 functions, and then just basically setting up the launch screen, and then using this also as our concealer view, and our main storyboard view controller just mocking up some sensitive information. And we have our helper, our struct concealer, in order to return to us a UI view controller that we can use to produce the background, the concealer view. So pretty simple, and that's it for today. Hey guys, in this tutorial we went over how to conceal the iOS background when we're going to the background and when we go into the app switcher, and we did this mainly in the SceneDelegate. So in the next tutorial we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing, but we're going to only be using the app delegate. So we're going to remove all the SceneDelegate stuff and conceal the app to show the background, but only mainly doing this in the app delegate. So we'll do that in the next tutorial. See you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.